Good day, everyone. So now we are going to discuss protozoans. So I'm gonna give you an overview regarding protozoans. What are really these minute organisms in our environment? Now, when we say protozoans, these are actually unicellular organisms that commonly show characteristics associated with animals, most notably mobility and heterotropy. So when we say heterotropy, it has something to do with heterotrophic organisms. So protozoans are actually found or usually found in freshwater, saltwater, and in damp habitats on land. That is why if we can actually perform microscopy, so you will be able to absorb protozoans with the use of pond water. So they actually live in tissues of plants. Some are actually parasites, so in the intestines, which cause several kinds of diseases, just like amoebiasis. So amoeba is an example of a protozoans. Okay, so protozoans is actually contained under kingdom Protista, and which is usually, sabi natin kanina, heterotrophic, but there are some which are actually pigmented. So what do we mean by heterotrophic? So heterotrophic, these are organisms that cannot perform photosynthesis. And in order to survive, they have to take up food from the environment for energy production. And some of which, sabi natin kanina, some of protozoans are pigmented. Or pag sinabi nating pigmented, they have these chlorophyll or other pigments. So, meaning to say, kapag pigmented ang isang protozoans, they will be able to undergo photosynthesis. So protozoans, as I've said a while ago, these are minute organisms which only range from 1 to 15 micrometer. So these are actually microscopic organisms. Okay, so one example of photosynthetic protozoans, these are euglena. So euglena are actually flagellates. So as you can see, this is how euglena looks like under microscope. They are somewhat green because sabi natin these are pigmented euglena which contains chlorophyll, and therefore they are able to undergo photosynthesis. So these protists, just like euglena, these are one of the major producers in oceanic ecosystems. But some protozoans may live in a symbiotic relationship with other organisms, such that of termites. They actually have protozoans in their gut in order for them to digest cellulose from the wood that they eat. Okay. Next, okay. So protozoans, sabi natin, these are actually under kingdom Protista. So these are divided into three phyla. We have the phylum Sarcomastigopora, the phylum Apicomplexa, and the phylum Ciliopora. Okay, how do these three phyla different from one another? First, phylum Sarcomastigopora is actually a combination of Sarcodina and Mastigopora, which are consist of several protists as well. Okay, Sarcodina moves through pseudopodia. They have this pseudopodia or false feet. Now later on, we're going to discuss that separately. Then the Mastigopora naman, these are organisms that moves by the means of flagella. Okay, the whip-like structures, these are known as flagella. And the second one, we have the phylum Apicomplexa. Okay, protozoans that reproduce by means of spores. These phylum Apicomplexa organisms in these that belong in Apicomplexa is also known as sporozoans. And third one, we have phylum Ciliopora. So from the word itself, Ciliopora or cilia, these organisms have specialized structures known as cilia, which are tiny hair-like structures, okay, that enable them to move freely in the water. Okay, so all of this, to wrap things up, we have protozoans are actually unicellular organisms under the kingdom Protista, which are usually found in damp areas or could be in a freshwater or marine environment. Protozoans can be classified into three phyla such as Sarcomastygopora, which includes organisms with pseudopodia and flagella. Apicomplexa, these are organisms that reproduce through spores. And finally, the third one, Phylum Ciliopora, which is characterized by their hair-like structure known as cilia as their locomotory organs. Okay, so that is all for the preview of our lesson 4, which is all about protozoans. Thank you!